next time Marvel come up, watch your tone. Watch your tone the next time you talk about Marvel. When it come up, watch your tone. I know people gonna say, "Well, you do it with Third Strike." Well, I don't care. When it come to Marvel, like that's just not. Marvel vs. Capcom 3 or Street Fighter 4, which one was bigger in the FGC? Now we know when in general terms of biggest game and stuff like that, nothing is topping Street Fighter. I mean, if you go back and you look at the numbers of how much Marvel sold versus how much Street Fighter 4 sold, I mean, there isn't even a Marvel versus Capcom in the top 10 most best-selling fighting games of all time. So we know what Street Fighter is, but when it comes to the FGC though, when it comes to in the community though, which one was bigger? Which one had more of an impact? I mean, because honestly, I'd be getting into my topic if I did. I'd be getting into my take. But yeah, which one was more so popular? Which one was more hype? Which one was more influential within the FGC? We'll start with Mr. Argue with you for no reason, MC Mason.
Thank you, Mr. Make up a really strange point for no reason. Yeah. I would probably say that Street Fighter 4, I would say, was like I would say is the most influential. I feel like before that, and it's like before that time, I feel like like fighting games, at least for like a lot of people, not necessarily for me and my brothers and stuff like that, and the people that I knew, like because we were playing fighting games like throughout, like we were like but for like a lot of the scene, it seemed like Street Fighter 4 kind of came in. Not necessarily. I mean, it was cool because like Street Fighter 4 showed up and it was vanilla. And I mean, you had Dan and Sagat and everybody, but I don't really think that game really started picking up steam until like what was it Super Street Fighter 4, I think. And then they started doing arcade edition and all that, and then we got Ultra Street Fighter 4 like at the end. But I think like as a package, as like a whole package, because you kind of have to evaluate it that way. I think, yeah, like that game really injected some like life and some real excitement back into the FGC. Now, I will say that Marvel versus Capcom 3 kind of came and kind of ramped it up a little bit, but it's kind of like you can't really build something like that without having a foundation first, Now, technically speaking, this is just a personal, like you could have released Marvel versus Capcom 3 before then and probably gotten a pretty good result. But what happened was is they released Street Fighter 4. So I think like based on the way history is gone, I would say that yeah, Street Fighter 4 was pretty influential. I mean, I thought it was okay when it came out. Like kind of like people thought Street Fighter 5 was okay when it came out. Well, actually, I think people have said like a lot worse things than it was okay when it came out. But yeah, like Street Fighter 4 was okay when it came out. But then like when they started adding like Adon and Guy and Cody and Ibuki and all them, I think that's when the game was like, oh yeah, this is what I've been waiting for. I think like with that Dudley, they had like basically almost every single really popular character in the franchise in that game. That's it was basically almost like Street Fighter All Stars by the time the game like basically was people started moving on, like it was pretty much all Street Fighter All Stars. So yeah, I will say Street Fighter 4.
Yeah, so I share the same sentiment. I love both of these games. I know I actually, for me, I put Marvel over Street Fighter. But if I'm looking at like this time frame of like when Street Fighter 4 came out, I remember watching people play this game on arcade machines. Like, and it was a big deal. This is when they have arcade machines where you take like a little memory chip and you put in like your data, like your color, like for you put your name up there. And I saw so much footage for this, and I was just blown away. And I finally played the game, and I'm seeing it played. I just could not stop watching Street Fighter 4 content, playing Street Fighter 4. It was so big. The fact that it's like not just like Marvel is more of a thing that's just really like in the States. There are some Japanese players, other people that play it, but Marvel is more so contained in the States, and it's still like one of the most influential and hype games that there is. MVC2 and MVC3 just kind of picked up that mantle a bit. And it's still even going on now. Kind of waned off for a bit once the game kind of dropped off the big stage for like the big games, but then it picked up steam because people just love the game so much. But I had to say 4 just because the competition between Japan and the States. I remember seeing the first Evo, I believe, literally Justin Wong playing Balrog with the American alternate color costume on versus Daigo. I'm just like, this is crazy. Like, this is almost like a movie type vibe. I remember watching it, and like that's when I first got into like seeing like actual like full on competitive events and stuff. And I'm just sitting there thinking like, this is crazy. I'm sitting there like, let's go USA. But then I'm also like a fan of Daigo too, because Daigo is synonymous with Ryu. And I think in 4 was his, like, he was literally Ryu. His Daigo was like so good. Like every time you saw him play, it was just like, how is this person going to beat him? Like, what magical things he going to do? You know, he has like some of the most iconic moments in Street Fighter 4 for me. Playing against Arturo. Arturo's, it's like super, I think it might have been AE by this time. I'm not sure. Arturo's, you know, he had a really good Dawson player. He throws out a Stand Fierce from like full screen. And Daigo crouch fierces, he whiff punishes from full screen, crouch fierce into heavy Shinku Kodoken. And the fact that he knew like I had to do the heavy version for it to even hit because he's full screen, I was blown away by that. Like I was just like, this dude just like this dude is ridiculous. Of course, he had I'm just like, man, this is ridiculous, man. So yeah, just those rivalries, the arcade scene, it was like really big at first, and we really haven't seen that since. Like Tekken 6 was kind of in the arcade scene, but that's kind of died down, so you don't really see games get released on arcade machines. Marvel 3 never got an arcade release. So I love both of these games.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I don't think Marvel 3 actually got an arcade release. But I love both of these games just about equally. But if I'm going to be real and say which one I personally think was more influential, it'd have to be Street Fighter 4, man. It'd have to be. Because then, like he mentioned, it kind of was a game that came back in around the 09 era and just kind of started the trend of fighting games back up again. But like he also mentioned, I do think that if Marvel 3 had been first, it could have done the same thing. So
I'm gonna keep it a mean bean. For me, it's not as easy as my 2 co-hosts, you know, to give an answer, because when I look at the overall package, Street Fighter 4 bust into the scene at a time where it's like, you know, fighting games were seemingly, you know, what people call the dark ages. I don't necessarily agree with that, because there's tons of fighting games that were out back then that was pretty good games. But I will give you that leader of the scene, you know, that one that anchors the scene, the one that really like gets the ball moving, just wasn't there. Hops on the scene, and next thing you know, everybody and their grandma schmamma get sponsors and deals and this and that and the other, you know, stuff gets big, you know, the scene revitalizes, world tours, you know, traveling all over. Ultimate Street Fighter 4, you can thank for all this stuff happening. So just its impact in the FGC can just be tangibly seen. But I feel like when it comes to Marvel though, like the love for that game is like no other. The love and support and just admiration for that game is like none other. Like you don't really, I mean, the NBA playoffs are doing like ads in the middle, are doing like, you know, marketing promos in the middle of the finals using Marvel. You know, you got Smash players who could give, like, a lot of times could give a hill of beans about what's going on in like the traditional fighting game scene, but it's like they want to know when's Marvel, you know. You got, just in pop culture and stuff like that, you're seeing like wins Marvel signs at WWE events. You know, it's just, and then just when you go back into the FGC, like when the hype and the hype that you felt for like Marvel, it feels like no matter what game you came there to see at the tournament, if Marvel Top 8 was going on, you was tuned in. I don't care if you was in the 3-man bracket for Barbie Dream House at a side tournament at Combo Breaker. Like those 3 players, or if you was there for, My Little Pony, like y'all, they cared about Marvel. And it's like a lot, it's just the admiration for Marvel is just so felt. And then I feel like one of the reasons why, honestly, that Marvel versus Capcom wasn't as big as Street Fighter is because Capcom never pushed it to be. I mean, it just no matter what Street Fighter came out, they pushed that to be the head honcho. I feel like the reason why Marvel versus Capcom didn't sell as much as it could have is because they didn't push it as much as they did Street Fighter. It's a reason why, like, almost no matter who comes across Marvel versus Capcom, they just love it. I don't know anybody that you've come across who would just say either they didn't love playing Marvel or they just didn't love watching Marvel. You can meet people who really don't care more or less about Street Fighter, even though it is like the biggest game in the FGC. So it's like they're big in like totally different ways. Like, Street Fighter 4 definitely came out and it took the scene to different levels as far as like, how much money people could make, how, big the scene grew, the opportunities and stuff people had. But when it comes to like Marvel, just the love people have for that game, it's not like Street Fighter 4. Like Marvel 2, Marvel 3, let's just stick with Marvel 3 specifically. Like a lot of people will tell you that Marvel 3 is like one of it's probably like top 5 best fighting games of all time. You don't really see too many people putting like Street Fighter 4 up in there, even though they'll tell you it's one of the better Street Fighters. So I just really feel like the love for Marvel makes its influence in the FGC. It's hard, man, because I'm telling you, like somebody like Devin know when Marvel, man, look, y'all know when Marvel came on, man, it was a movie, bro. Like, and you was probably gonna see the same teams, the same people, but it was a movie. It was something different every time. It's like, man, I've seen these same teams, but they coming up with something new every week. Like, Street Fighter, we know the typical bread and butter stuff. Like, Mr. Gamer Live came, but he brought out what Daigo, did as far as like, with what he did to the Doll Sim player. But it's like, man, every week and then it's like, even till today, they're making like teams and stuff like that with characters. You like just like, oh, that's a team, and they're doing like crazy wonky stuff. So, I don't know. It's hard for me to choose. I mean, honestly, it feel blasphemous not to say like Street Fighter 4 just because it's tangible impact. Like we would like Street Fighter 6 wouldn't be doing as good as it is now without Street Fighter 4. But man, like that love for Marvel, I'm gonna just go ahead and say like Street Fighter 4, but it's not like Marvel don't got a case. Like if somebody said Marvel, I wouldn't debate you. I'd just be like, you got me,
definitely.
bro. Because when Marvel, like if you had a tournament and they was putting Marvel above Street Fighter, like that was the last game we was gonna watch, who was tripping? It's Marvel, baby. But anybody else got anything to add? Most of these fighting game players that like, I mean, Pochop got play Marvel. Most of these people they play Marvel. It's crazy to me. Daigo didn't play Marvel. I'm like, why he didn't play Marvel?
He played Marvel.
He did. I ain't really see too many results from Daigo and Marvel, but everybody played Marvel. Everybody.
Well, the thing because I mean, Marvel had the benefit of like not being like any one like franchise though, right? Because it pulled like characters from like a bunch of Capcom franchises, and then it pulled a bunch of characters from Marvel. I mean, so then you're actually extending the net of people who are going to play your game, because then like number one, you're getting people who play different fighting games to play Marvel vs. Capcom. But then in addition to that, you're going to have people who are like comic book fans, of different characters. Like some people are probably just playing the game just to see what would happen if they to just see like, Spider-Man beat up Ryu, or something like that, like, so I mean, like Marvel vs. Capcom, like not just in general, like as a franchise has like a really good, like, draw. Like it's a good gimmick, but like it's a real good gimmick.
Yeah, it's I mean, this is a tough one because, like I said, both of these games are near and dear to my heart. But yeah, Daigo did play just a little bit. I remember I forgot what tournament it was, but everybody's like Daigo. He was playing like Mac, some just like kind of copy paste a top tier team like Magneto, Sentinels,
Or the
something. I know.
Tokido, just get in the game and pick the most broken character available.
Yeah, because I Tokido also played Marvel too. But it's hard because both games had rivalries. But I actually feel what you just mentioned, Rexon, about how somebody's coming up with something new every week. I felt that way about Street Fighter 4. To me, in my personal opinion, Street Fighter 4 is the most expressive Street Fighter. Without any like drive rush, because Street Fighter 6 really only has expression with drive rush. The combos routes are all really the same. There's nothing that this player, his execution is so good he can do this. I mean, there's some things like you got a JP has a lot of stuff that's a little more technical to learn. Ed got some stuff, but if there wasn't drive rush, you wouldn't really see a lot of expression. But in Street Fighter 4, you had one player, I can't really do one frame links, but you got this other player over here doing these Evil Ryu combos that you don't see anybody else doing, because only they can do it. Because they're, you see a Chun-Li player pulling off the lightning leg loops. You don't see that all the time. Gin, like when you saw a good Gin player, you saw Shin, Jibbo, all those players, you about to see a movie. Because the other Gens weren't even close to what they were doing. So I'm just like, anytime I saw them playing again, I'm like, bro, this character, I didn't even know this character could do this. And then you go like, oh, this is so hard to do. This is why you don't see nobody doing it. So that was awesome. It also watching Street Fighter 4 also made me like watching characters that I hated. I hated Honda, but Mike Ross, I loved watching Mike Ross play Honda. I hated Dawson. I loved watching F Champ play Dawson because they were so methodical with those characters. And just the way they played them made me open my mind up to other characters. I'm like, man, it looks so cool. I used to hate Gal. Watching Dominion made me like Gal more. So like that's why I felt like for me, that game it's a tough one. It's a tough one because we had rivalries in Street Fighter. Of course, Justin Wong and Daigo was like the premier rivalry, I think, when that game first dropped. But then Marvel though is just built on rivalries. Like F Champ being like the villain of Marvel, that match between him and Kane Blue River, where he just dog walked Kane Blue River and was talking trash like none other. And then Kane Blue River came back like, look, I got something for you. I ain't gonna say one word, but what's gonna happen on the screen is these big bodies is about to put you in the ground. And that was one of my favorite matches. I mean, you had the tyrant that Chris G became when he started Mordoon. Like, just like, bro, how are we gonna stop this guy? But yeah, it was something, man. Even seeing new players come out, seeing Ray, I don't know for certain, but I do think I heard an interview. He said like he didn't really play fighting games before Marvel 3. He's one of the best Marvel 3 players, one of the best Magnetos. He said he used to play games like Mario Party, and to see him just like come in and learn the game like that, it's wild. Like his movement, like I will agree, like that's something new. Like his movement was so crisp with Magneto. Like him and the F Champ with some of the Magnetos. He's like, bro, how are they piloting this character like this? Watching somebody like Ryan LV come in with a team like Chun-Li, Phoenix, and I think it was Trish. I think it was a full female type. I know it was Phoenix and Chun-Li, and he just wins Evo. I'm like, bro, this is crazy. So it's a tough one indeed, man. But I just think because of the fact that it had reach across multiple continents, I think, and it also had an arcade scene that was strong when it first came out. But yeah, both of these games are. I wish I could go back and relive those moments of watching the events and tournaments, because it, like Rexon said, it was a movie. You see Marvel 3 come on, it's like, hey man, get your popcorn.
Man, them days when it was like KOF 13, Marvel, and Street Fighter 4. Man,
yeah,
Tekken was big back then, but when them 3 honchos was there, man, it's like that was the move. I'm not disrespecting Tech. I feel like I say stuff and then people gonna be like, man, you disrespectful. Tekken always been lit. Man, it was a time. It was kind of like a little bit of time where Tekken was a little bit, grandma's cupboard, back of the cabinet, been in there for 10 months, kind of stale. But it is what it is. What were you finna say?
I was just saying, like, I really like Street Fighter 4 because it brought me one of my favorite like videos ever, where they have like Justin Wong talking about why he's like, why I don't even understand why what's his name Adon is in the game. He was like, I don't. We got Sagat. Like, what's the point? Like having Adon in the game just to like you cut to a clip of him getting smoked by Gamerby playing Adon. I was like, ooh yeah. Like, I'm like, how dare you insult Adon like that, man? Terrible.
One of the best Street Fighter characters of all time. Wouldn't you agree, Mr. Gamula?
He's all right. I thought he was cool in Alpha 3. But
These
You don't
Vega
like
players,
that
bro.
Jaguar Revolver?
yeah, he was cool. I don't know. He's just cooler to me in Alpha 3. I don't know why. It's just kind of 4 it didn't quite hit the same for me.
Anyway, how far
No
are we in?
comment.
Hour and 14. Yeah, I think we ain't gonna get to the next topic. Were you finna say something?
Nah, man. I just said no comment on what Mr. Gateman said.
I tell you what, man. Like, look, let's be honest. Like, Marvel is so beloved. If at the end of Evo Japan right now, they say we got an announcement trailer and you heard Marvel Comics, people would literally fall to their knees. People would literally like shed tears. People would literally like I'm talking about like dudes there with their wives inconsolable, just crying like a baby. Like, I'm telling you, like, we can like the love Marvel has, like, I just Street Fighter got it, but Street Fighter ain't got it, man. Like, I'm telling you, like, let they be like, we got something for you, and you hear Marvel presents the internet blowing up for like a good week. I'm talking about exploding.
Yeah, but let's keep it real though. This is Disney Marvel, bro. Like this is
Come on, man.
This is Disney Marvel.
See this, man.
This is Disney Marvel. No, like I'm being realistic.
Yeah,
I'm just being realistic. Like when was the
we saw the last travesty that happened, so
I mean
somebody Max had to fix it. So
yeah.
But that also kind of lends to that because they love the game so much. They're like, hey, let's fix this game. Oh, this is what it should have been when it first came out.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to learn from like. I don't think the team at like Disney or Marvel. I don't think they're going to learn from that. I think they're going to be like, okay, well, that's cool. We'll just release another game, and I mean, what happens if that game's not great? Is Max and them going to have to fix this one too? Like, I mean,
you stay bringing this up every time Marvel come up, man. Like, hey, but what if the next Marvel ain't great though? It's gonna be great
because the last one wasn't. The last one wasn't good. The last one wasn't good.
There does not exist a world where another Marvel comes out and it ain't good. I just don't believe it. I don't believe it.
Yeah,
it's gonna
that's what everybody thought.
I don't believe it. I don't believe it
until like Infinite came out,
and
nobody wants to believe that that's Marvel 4. But like that's
it ain't Marvel
because
4.
they didn't use numbers. Because they didn't use numbers. 4. Now it's not Marvel 4.
Yeah. It ain't Marvel 4. Don't exist.
Like they say, oh well,
a
Marvel
bad Disney spinoff. Matter of fact, I mean, it basically don't even exist. If we
the thing is, I think it's kind of crazy if somebody comes on here and talks about, they say spit straight facts and then say so much like nonsense. That is absolutely
what are you talking about
to me.
The consensus is everybody's waiting on Marvel 4. I'm not the only one saying this.
Yeah,
why are you acting like I'm the only one saying this?
I didn't say people weren't waiting for Marvel 4, but to pretend like, oh well, that one doesn't count. Like that's crazy to me.
Everybody's saying
crazy
don't count.
to me.
You act like I'm the only one up here saying this.
It still counts because they
still counts. Like
they just have
if
to
it was good, it would count though.
The thing is, they have to make sure this time. I don't know the problem with Infinite. It was too. What's the word? It was too cash grabbing. You look at the game, you could tell they were all the movies of MCU is popular. Hey, let's put, and they just weren't really focused on the game as a whole. That's why that game just looked terrible. The only redeemable thing about it was the gameplay. Like that was it. And then people still play the game, but it was like, bro, this game looks ugly. It looks like a mobile game. There's also, for some reason, people have this fascination with making stuff look like mobile stuff, and it's almost like that the trend of like, let's do microtransactions, all this other stuff. It's like, bro, just make the game good. So that's why I'm hoping that if Marvel 4 is a thing, whatever they had going on with Infinite, keep that away from it, right? really, I don't know. I want to say Disney probably have more of the full reign over that game than Capcom get. Let Capcom cook. Y'all, all this other extra stuff. We see what just happened with MK1. These big people at the top got to stay away from making the games. I get it. Y'all got the funding. Y'all make decisions, but let these developers make these games, man.
And so like when you're saying that, like, yeah, like MK1 just like completely like basically got messed up by like, you know, like executives like WB making decisions, like putting their hands all over it. But the thing is that Disney had already done that with Marvel Infinite by the time MK1 had come out. They had already done that. And it's not like they were like, oh, like they didn't learn from what happened with Marvel Infinite. They just went ahead and did it anyway. So I'm just saying I'm being cautious about it because I don't think that these guys learn. I don't think they're gonna, unless something big happens, they're not going to learn. And like, hopefully somebody is in the development room, like cracking the whip saying, no, man, like we're not going to let them just mess our game up. But who's holding the purse strings, man? Like, how do we even get the funding for the game? Like, if they say, hey, we want this character, this character, and this character, and this character in the game, what are you going to say? I'm not going to do it? Okay, well, we're not going to give you any more money. Though I think like the big thing that is actually decent is that we might actually be able to see like X-Men, maybe like actually see X-Men in the next game because, you know, Disney just ate everything. So, I mean, that would be kind of cool, but hopefully they don't add anything too like crazy in the game or anything like that. Like if start putting like make it into like Fortnite, the fighting game or whatever, that would be kind of disgusting, but you know, we'll see.
Well, yeah, since I'm, you know, Devin told me I'm just like Stephen A. Smith today, I'm gonna have to tell you the next time Marvel come up, watch your tone. Watch your tone the next time you talk about Marvel when it come up. Watch your tone. Because we don't need no hateration in this dancery when it comes to Marvel, bro. The next
exactly.
Marvel,
like what?
The next Marvel is gonna be fantastic. The next Marvel is gonna be amazing. Like we don't need no hateration and all this stuff when Marvel coming up. And I know people go say, well, you do it with Third Strike. Well, I don't care. When it come to Marvel, like that's just not the case. It ain't gonna happen. Like, so, you know, let's just watch our tone when Marvel 4 come up because it's gonna be amazing, you know.
Yeah, you know what? I believe it when I see it.
I would hope it would be amazing because it would look real bad for these people to take time out of their own day to make Marvel 3. Like, I don't, if I was them, I'd be like, hey, look at what the fans have done for this game. Look at what the fans did for Marvel 3. They literally made this a whole new game. And then Max literally took money out of his own. If this next game ain't good, man.
One of y'all gonna have to host a show for the next month. I can't show my face. I can't show my face if that happens.
Like
all this talking I've done, that's gonna have to be the one thing I'm gonna be like, look, I
don't see a world in where if Marvel 4 comes out, it's not like a banger. But man, if it's not, it's just like and I'm just
it ain't happening. Man, you know, that universe don't exist. You know, that's bizarre world somewhere. So
I'm just saying, man,
we live in reality. You know.
Yeah, and in this reality, Marvel Infinite wasn't good. All I'm saying is that we've been betrayed before. We've been betrayed before multiple times by different people, by different groups. I'm just saying to like manage your expectations. So if the game is good, it's all right, it's good. But if it's bad, you'll be like, oh, okay, well, you know, I didn't get too like overly invested, you know, based on history, recent history, you know, it's like, you know, I'm just telling you, like, protect yourself. God, you know, they say guard your heart, you know, like guard your heart.
I'm just saying, you know, Rexon A. Smith is telling you next time, watch your tone. Watch your tone. But
I think I'll listen to that as much as I listen to normal Stephen A. Smith, which is not at all. But thank you.